Joining us now, former GOP presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy is with us. All right, Vivek, let's get your take. Greatest contributor to the Democratic Party is the media. We have Kamala and Tim in their own words. It is the most radical candidates to ever run on a major party ticket for the presidency and the vice presidency in this country. And yet they go completely unvetted. They have a media that is compliant, an extension of their press office. Your reaction to it, and how does the Trump campaign deal with that challenge? It's a challenge.
Look, part of this, Sean, is the consequence of the fact they laid a trap for us. And the trap was this. Joe Biden was the nominee, such that for the last 18 months, Republicans have focused our financial and political capital on attacking Joe Biden when he's not the nominee. But because the press is the one that criticized Biden in that last month, here's what they've done. They've banked some artificial credibility with the public. I've talked to many independents across the country, and their main pushback on the idea that the media is biased is the fact that, no, they were just criticizing Biden as recently as last month. So in some ways, we were led into that trap, and now it's up to us to find our way out of it. Here's that path, Sean. I think that we would make the same mistake again by just obsessing over the candidates instead of following a three-word formula to win this election. Focus on policy. Focus on our own vision for this country. What do we actually stand for? That makes the other side irrelevant by comparison. That's our only chance at success, and I think it is going to be our winning path to success. But we got to learn from our mistake last time around to correct it this time.
See, I think if this election comes about their radical extremism on immigration, on law and order, or the lack thereof, and defund, dismantle, no bail, if it becomes about no fracking and no drilling and energy, if it becomes about their economy and their economic policies and their new Green Deal desire and a 70 to 80% tax rate and taxes on unrealized capital gains, small business and corporations which don't pay taxes, and about America's role in the world, it's a slam dunk. They can't win. But bypassing this almost impenetrable wall of the media is hard. They're corrupt.
Of course it's hard. But you know what? We're running to save a country here, Sean. So that work is cut out for us. The question is whether we rise to the challenge. Seal the border, grow the economy, fight rampant crime in this country, and stay out of World War III. If this election comes down to those four things, we win this handily. If it doesn't, we lose this. I think those are our two choices. The reality is the voting public's not going to be voting for Tim Walz, so I think this news cycle is going to go away regardless in another week. But what does Walz's selection actually tell us? It teaches us about Kamala Harris and how she'll make decisions as a U.S. president and to which wing of her party she actually bends the knee. And so this has opened up. This has been exactly what we needed. It has given us the reset we needed in this race to refocus on policy. They've served this up. I think it was a great gift, making Walz the vice presidential nominee. Having given us that gift, now it's up to us to receive it and use that to actually offering competing visions for the future policy governing the United States. If we do that, we're successful, but that's up to us.
I have 5 issues. You have 4. I would dial in on how they plan to save the country, make America great again, to steal a phrase, and also pointing out their radicalism in their own words. And somehow there's got to be an effort to bypass what is the extension of their press offices with the media. Vivek Ramaswamy, always appreciate you being with us. Thank you, sir. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.